GITA Administrator Ivan Konata says the details are still being negotiated with GRRP, but once they're finalized, he does intend to issue a permit and launch a 45-day comment period on GRRP's plans for a landfill in Atentano.
What we are doing right now is finalizing the conditions that will be included in that draft operations permit. Once those conditions are finalized, which is a normal process of the operations permit, the draft operations permit will then be issued in conjunction with the public notices for the 45-day public comment period.
A decision last month from District Court Judge Francis Tadenko Gatewood cleared the way for the permit process on GRRP's landfill application to resume again. The judge had blocked the issuance of the draft permit after landfill rival GBB raised objections to a December 30th letter issued by former acting administrator Liz Cruz on her last day in office, which expressed GIPA's intent to grant that permit. Satisfied with the AG's review that she ordered, the judge then allowed the permitting process to resume again.
It is my understanding that the previous administrator believed that Guam EPA can issue the draft operating permit. I am ensuring that the issuance of that draft operating permit is in compliance with statutes and regulations. And as such, I need to ensure that the conditions that are put on that draft operating permit are in compliance.
He expressed his intention to grant that draft operating permit.
Okay, but
Does that please you?
Yes, but it doesn't jive with the letter that he sent to the president of GRRP.
Which says what?
Which says that you got to complete a certain study before we issue the draft operating agreement. But he's going back now before the December 30th letter and asking again for something that has already been discussed between the two technical teams. That is out of order as far as we're concerned. The two technical teams have already agreed.
So you think he's looking for an excuse not to grant you the permit?
I believe so, you know.
Konata acknowledges that there has been some delay, but that's because a new project manager has been appointed, he said, and needs time to get up to speed.
We're looking essentially at catching the new project manager up to speed. That would probably take a couple of weeks, and once he's up to speed, then he will be focusing on completing the conditions that will be placed in that draft operations permit. I really can't commit to a time.
Sablan also accuses GIPA of stalling on standard assurances in the draft permit that if GRRP completes all of the regulatory requirements, they will be granted the final permit to go forward with their landfill.
We need an assurance that, provided that we meet all the standards in terms of some of the studies that have to be completed, in other words, the data collection still has to be completed, that we would get the final operating permit. That has never been presented to us, that if you do it this way and you meet standards A, B, C, and D, then you will get your operating permit final. All of that should be contained in the draft operating agreement. That's not been made clear to us.
They have been issued permits for clearing and grading for them to be able to do their site work, the field work that's necessary to determine that what they're doing is in fact feasible engineering-wise.
No guarantee yet that they're going to get the final permit, though, correct?
I don't provide guarantees. I only review the permits.